Huh. You want to start a fucking podcast, don't you? Yes, you clicked on the right video. This is the one that's going to tell you exactly what you need to start a podcast. I'm Andres, and I'm excited to share with you guys every piece of gear that you need to start your own podcast. And surprisingly, it's not that expensive. Let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing you'll need, as you probably already know, is a microphone. I got one right here, but here's another one. This is called the Rode Pod Mic. Now, this is one of the budget microphones for only $100 that packs a punch. Look, I've produced podcasts in the past, and in those podcasts, we've used the very popular, for a reason, Shure SM7Bs. And although those are really good, $400 for a microphone just seems like too much, especially when you want to involve two more people or another person. That's $800. That's a lot of money just for good sounding audio. And as you can hear right now, it sounds pretty good. But here's a clip of my podcast.
You look back on it and you be like, dang, like I did that. I'm glad I made that mistake. Then now I'm able to do this in a different way.
Yeah, not too bad, right? It's pretty good for $99. So I'd be lying if I said that audio that you heard was straight from the microphone. It's not. I'm pretty familiar with how to edit audio to make it sound the best it possibly can. But I'll link a couple videos in the description that you can check out that taught me how to mix audio well and how to filter it and all that good stuff. But for $99, the Rode Pod Mic right here is the best microphone you can lay your hands on. So assuming you already have a computer, the next thing you'll need to be able to connect that beautiful new microphone to your computer to record it is an audio interface. So all an audio interface does is transmits the sound from your microphone into your computer in a language that your computer can understand. Unfortunately, you can't plug in a microphone like this directly into your computer. There are microphones that can do that. They're called USB microphones. They'll literally go from your microphone to your USB. But for the purposes of this video, where you're getting an XLR microphone, which are usually higher quality, you need that interface. The interface that I'm using right now and have used forever is the Focusrite Scarlett. I'm using the Scarlett 2i2. Now there's also a Scarlett Solo. Now this is where you need to make a decision. Are you gonna be doing this podcast by yourself? Or are you gonna have an extra guest? This is very important because one of them comes with one XLR input, the other comes with two, and there is a price difference. So the Solo goes for around $120, and the 2i2 goes for $170. When I got my Focusrite Scarlett, I was just planning on doing YouTube videos like this at first. So I thought about getting the Solo, but then I thought, for $50 more, I have an opportunity to add another microphone in case I want anybody else on my YouTube channel. So I ended up getting the Focusrite 2i2. You can of course record just one microphone like I'm doing right now, or you have the luxury of getting a second microphone. I just think honestly, the 2i2 is a better investment. Now, if you want to do more than 2 channels, if you already know that you're going to have a 4-person podcast, 3-person podcast, or whatever, there are other options. There's mixers that have 8 channels. There's mixers that have 12. One quick recommendation that I will give if you want to do a podcast up to 4 people is the same brand as this, Rode, has its own interface. This interface is great because it has up to 4 channels and it has a lot more features than just a regular interface. So that's something to look into. Okay, so you have the microphone, you have the interface, you have the XLR cable, you're ready to go. Everything's plugged in. So the next thing you'll need is to download some sort of audio software. The audio recording software that I use is called Adobe Audition. It comes with the Adobe Creative Suite. So if you're already a content creator and you use Photoshop or Premiere and you have the all access suite like most people do, it's only $50 a month. $32 a month if you're a student. It's a great program that I've used and I continue to use because I think it's one of the best. There are other programs that don't come with a cost like Audacity. I've heard that's a really great audio recording program that has its own effects and its own ways of like mixing and all that, so that's cool. If you're an Apple user like me, you can also just use GarageBand and you can input audio through there. Regardless of the recording software, all that matters is that you have something that can record your audio. So go do your own research, find your own thing. As long as you can record your audio, it's a W in my book. Okay, your episode is recorded, edited, everything's good to go. Now where the f do I put it? Well, you need a hosting site, a place where you can upload all your content to that other people can come and listen to your podcast. This is the way that you publish your podcast. Very important. Anchor.fm or just Anchor is a great service that I use that not only serves as a hosting site, which just holds your content, but as a distributing site or distribution site. With literally just publishing one episode, it goes on the back end and it creates Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Breaker, all these other random podcasting websites that people use, and it pushes them out for you. You don't have to go through each of them individually or whatever the heck. I don't even know how it would work otherwise because I knew about Anchor when I started mine. So to save you the headache, go ahead and just start an Anchor account. This isn't sponsored or anything. It's a great service service. I used it with the church that I used to work at, that I produced a podcast, and I'm using it now, and I'm gonna continue to use it because it just works. And let me just say one more time, this thing is free. You don't have to pay a penny for it. The thing is free, and actually it even has monetization methods where you can include ads in it as well, and it pays you for it. It's really great. I haven't tried the monetization, so I don't really know how good that is, but it's a great program. It's a great platform. I recommend it to anybody trying to start a podcast. Okay, so if your whole thing is just audio, you just want to upload a podcast and you just want it to be audio only, nothing else, that's it. You're at the end of the video. Go ahead and click like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Share with a friend and comment if this was helpful to you. So I know a lot of people who follow me and know that I have a video component to my podcast, and that actually is rising in popularity. If you're thinking, well, should I only do audio or should I do audio and video? I think that it depends on what you're doing. Very quickly, I will say this. If you can afford video equipment or hiring some sort of video production agency to do it for you or doing anything like that, I recommend that you do, because it'll make marketing and advertising for your podcast that much easier. You know how easy it is for me to grab some clips out of one episode and post it on YouTube as a separate clip or post it on my Instagram or whatever. It just makes for more multi-repurposing purposes. So if you're interested in video, let's get into it. The main thing that you're gonna need additionally is a camera and a lens. So I wanna talk to you about big picture, what matters in a camera for a podcast. That one thing above quality and anything else is how long can this thing record for? As podcasters, and if I'm assuming you're running this by yourself, you wanna have the luxury of just hitting record on the camera and feeling safe knowing that it's not gonna stop recording. I know this sounds like something that should be in every camera, but trust me, it's not. I went through the troubles of getting a camera that had a recording limit on it, and I had to buy a new one. It was a whole nightmare, and I don't want you to go through the same thing. I'm gonna recommend one camera to you, and that's the Sony a6400. Now this may look like a little tiny camera that is used for toddlers, but I guarantee you it is really good. Not only does it shoot 4K and all that like sexy spec stuff that everyone wants in a camera, it also doesn't have a recording time limit. That's right. You can click record and it will record the whole way for you as long as your SD card allows it to. That being said, you're gonna need a big chunky SD card. Now, I don't mean physically. If you don't have the issue of your camera stopping recording because of its native function, you might run into the issue of running out of space in your SD card. I have a 128 gigabyte SanDisk Pro Performance card, and that's all you need. With 128 gigabytes, I've been able to record episodes of 2 hours. One of them was like 2:45. I wanna address this. It's kind of like in high school whenever we were learning how to use PowerPoint, and we just kind of wanted to put our whole essays in PowerPoints, and then our teacher would be like, no, the PowerPoint is a visual aid. I want you to think of video and a podcast as a visual aid as well. Even when I watch video versions of podcasts, I'm watching for like probably the first 10 minutes, then I gotta go pee or something, and then I'll stop watching it and I'll just be listening to it. So don't stress too much about exactly how it looks. You just need something to get running and gunning. And then of course, if you're getting that camera and you're getting that body, it has interchangeable lenses, so you need to get a lens that works for you. Now, I'm not gonna go into all that right now, but get yourself a lens, get yourself that camera, get a tripod and an SD card, and there you go. You have video. Now that you have the video thing sorted, you have the equipment, you have everything you can to record it, you have something else to edit post-production as well. And for this, you need a video editing software. I don't want to harp too much on this. Again, if you're already a content creator, odds are you probably have an Adobe Creative Suite. So I would recommend Adobe Premiere. It's a great program. I think it works really well. But if you don't want to pay for that, or you don't like the monthly payment and you're an Apple user, you can use Final Cut Pro. They're very similar in that sense. They look a lot different, but it's only going to be an upfront cost of $200 as opposed to paying a monthly payment forever. If you don't have any budget and you don't want to pay a dime for it, you can use iMovie. I don't know if Windows Movie Maker is still a thing. You could do that. And I know there's a few other apps and softwares like DaVinci Resolve that let you use it for free for just the base version. If video and adding another step in your post process and you feel like that's gonna be a roadblock, then I would encourage you either to just go audio or to simply hire somebody like myself to do the production for you. As popularity in podcasting has gone up, there are a lot of experts in the field when it comes to production, and a lot more production companies that niche down on podcast production. And honestly, as I scale my podcast, that is one of the first things I'm gonna outsource as the money starts to come in, is the production side, because it is frustrating and annoying, even for a commercial videographer like myself. All right, I'm not 100% sure if this is under 3 minutes, but it makes for a great thumbnail and title, so I'm gonna keep it regardless. ridiculous. But look, if it helped you and it helped guide you in your kind of product purchasing for your podcast, please let me know in the comments, man. I love talking to you guys and interacting with you guys, and that's what I want to do more with this channel. So go ahead and do that. If you don't want to comment, that's fine. You can do your part by hitting the like button, and remember to subscribe if you want to see more of my awesome face. And 2, comment below, what do you want to hear me talk about? Look, when it comes to podcasting stuff, I really do want to help the community of people who want to get into it, get better at it. So if you have any questions about podcasting, go ahead and put in the comments, and I'll consider that when making my next podcast related video. But look, it's been a blast. Hit that sub button, and remember, stay grateful. Peace.